This is part 2 of our investigation into Shein, where we move beyond the fashion facade and into the algorithmic empire it really is. If you haven't seen part 1, start there to uncover the roots of Shein's rise. Scroll 6, Zara's legacy rewritten. In the 1990s and 2000s, Zara reigned as the godfather of fast fashion. Its Spanish parent company, Inditex, didn't just sell clothes, it revolutionized how they were made. By mastering vertical integration, Zara controlled design, manufacturing, and distribution. It spotted trends, replicated them quickly, and delivered new inventory to stores every 2 weeks. For decades, it was the standard bearer for fashion reactivity. But even Zara had limits. It invested in logistics, hired trend forecasters, and operated within the guardrails of Western labor standards. It was fast, but not limitless. Then came Shein. While Zara built warehouses, Shein built code. While Zara tested fabric quality, Shein tested dopamine response. Zara trained buyers. Shein trained algorithms. Zara's model was revolutionary, but Shein's was viral. Where Zara developed 20,000 new SKUs per year, Shein launched over 1.5 million annually. Zara shipped to storefronts. Shein shipped to screens. Zara had physical inventory cycles. Shein had digital flash trends. Zara followed fashion. Shein followed friction, reducing it at every stage between desire and purchase. And so Zara, once the pioneer, became the past. Shein wasn't faster fashion. It was frictionless fashion, a machine that didn't just sell clothes, but reprogrammed consumer behavior. Scroll 7, greenwashing in neon. As criticism intensified, Shein attempted what many corporations do when their ethics catch fire. Rebrand the narrative. In 2022, Shein launched a sustainability initiative. It promised to reduce environmental impact, increase transparency, and support circular fashion. At the center of the plan was a resale platform where users could buy and sell second-hand Shein clothes directly on the app. But there was a flaw in the logic. Shein's clothing was already so cheap and often so poor in quality that many users didn't see the value in reselling it. Why would someone pay $3 for a used blouse when a new one cost $4 with free shipping? Adoption was low. Technical glitches plagued the platform. Listings were not accurate. Orders stalled. And behind the scenes, the platform was more a press release than a product. In parallel, Shein ramped up a campaign of influencer outreach, specifically targeting influencers of color, young women with large Gen Z followings who could speak to diversity, relatability, and aspirational lifestyle. The company also launched campus fashion tours at US colleges, including Howard University, University of Southern California, and Florida A&M, offering free clothes, promo codes, and branded events aimed at students. But the most ambitious PR move came in 2023. Shein invited a hand-picked group of American influencers to tour select model factories in China. These were not the micro-factories exposed by journalists. They were sanitized, polished operations, prepared weeks in advance for inspection. The influencers, some of whom had no background in fashion ethics, were flown business class, gifted merchandise, and encouraged to post glowing reviews of working conditions, sewing lines, and company values. Employees were instructed not to speak freely. Signs were removed. Uniforms were issued. The entire visit was stage-managed like a political photo op. Online, the PR stunt backfired. Social media users accused the influencers of being complicit, a term meaning they were willingly participating in or enabling unethical behavior through silence or endorsement. The backlash was swift. Influencers lost followers. Their comment sections flooded with, "You got paid to lie." Hashtags like #SheinExposed trended for days. Digital sleuths, independent online investigators, watchdog activists, and data-savvy consumers began dissecting the campaign. They found inconsistencies in factory footage, cross-referenced influencer posts with known factory locations, and exposed fake profiles inflating engagement on positive posts. Meanwhile, real environmental audits were nowhere to be found. Investigators and watchdog groups reported that Shein repeatedly blocked third-party audit access, citing logistical limitations or national security protocols. And when asked to release its supplier list, Shein refused, claiming proprietary risk, competitive secrecy, and ongoing restructuring. The company used shell corporations and complex contractor webs to keep the chain opaque. Their ESG reports, which stand for environmental, social, and governance disclosures, read like marketing brochures. They featured vague commitments, unsourced statistics, and unverifiable progress. Critics labelled them performative, meaning they were more about appearance than action, written to appease critics without making meaningful change. The term for this is greenwashing, the act of misleading consumers into believing a company is environmentally responsible, when in reality, it continues to engage in harmful practices. In Shein's case, it wasn't greenwashing. It was green flooding, burying the truth in influencer posts, event tours, and decorative promises while the machine ran on sweat, waste, and silence. Scroll 8. The Empire in the Cloud. Shein has no storefronts, no runway shows, no public-facing SEO. It exists in the cloud, an empire of code, secrecy, and velocity. From the outside, Shein appears to be a fashion company. But peel back the fabric and it becomes clear. Shein is a tech company that happens to sell clothes and not the other way around. Its backbone isn't style, it's servers. The company has more than 10,000 employees, and a significant portion of them are not designers or merchandisers, but data scientists, engineers, and machine learning specialists. Reports suggest Shein employs over 600 data professionals, more than many Silicon Valley startups twice its size. Their job isn't to invent fashion. It's to track, analyze, and predict consumer behavior across millions of data points. What styles people click, what time they shop, what fabrics they avoid, what colors they crave, and how those trends shift week to week, hour to hour. Marketing at Shein is equally algorithmic. The company doesn't rely on Super Bowl ads or fashion magazines. Instead, it weaponizes micro-influencer marketing, seeding product links through TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at a scale that feels organic but is ruthlessly optimized. Shein's dark genius lies in its ability to appear chaotic and grassroots while being meticulously controlled. From its back-end systems to its customer journey, every click is tracked, analyzed, and converted. But the most mysterious figure in the empire is the founder himself, Chris Xu. Xu rarely gives interviews. He does not attend product launches. His public photos are limited and his biography remains largely unconfirmed. Industry insiders describe him as obsessively private, a ghost in the fashion machine. So how does a man with an estimated net worth of over $10 billion stay so invisible? He keeps his name off headlines. He routes his operations through subsidiaries in Singapore. He outsources public commentary to investor relations staff and quietly navigates behind closed doors. And now, he's preparing for his next move, legitimacy. Shein has announced plans for a US IPO with an expected valuation in the tens of billions. But going public requires political goodwill. So Shein has begun what many call reputation laundering. In 2023, Shein hired top-tier Washington lobbyists, including Aiken, Gump, Strauss, Hauer, and Feld, LLP, one of the most influential lobbying firms in the United States. Their mandate: smooth Shein's path to IPO by courting lawmakers, softening scrutiny, and positioning the company as a tech innovator, not a fast fashion villain. The strategy is clear. Donate to the right PACs, attend the right conferences, and fund enough social impact initiatives until the noise fades. In the world of politics, reputation is currency, and Shein has plenty to spend. Scroll 9. The algorithm has no conscience. Shein's success isn't stitched together with thread. It's stitched together with code. Its algorithm doesn't understand fairness or labor law, or the emotional labor of a stolen design. It understands only optimization. When a trend goes viral, the algorithm doesn't ask whether it was created by a small black artist struggling to grow a following. It asks how fast it can be replicated. When a price is set, it doesn't consider the dignity of the worker sewing the hem. It considers conversion rates. When shipping routes are chosen, the system doesn't weigh carbon footprints. It weighs margins. This is the dark paradox of Shein. It is ruthlessly efficient, brilliantly engineered, and utterly indifferent. This is Ledger of Lies. Check out the next lie in the card above.